There we go.
We just came back. Oh, you can probably still hear my toilet ringing in
Well.
This episode is dedicated to Thomas Ruth.
Thomas Ruth. He has some qualms
With our ukulele
video.
I guess he was a big fan. I'm sure the game has its... Oh my god, see, that's no fun.
I'm sure the game has its positives to some people, just not to
Well,
me.
I'm sure some people really like it, but it's like... I guess it kind of seemed like he wasn't a huge fan of Banjo either. So I guess that's why we take more offense to it, is because we are fans of the originals, I guess.
Yeah.
And if you liked ukulele and not those, I could see what... There's something here. Oh, this is the one that has rap in it.
Ooh.
Can't hear it right now.
The kids love rap these days.
But, I don't know, I feel like if you did like Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, then you should, this is fun. You should criticize ukulele then.
Oh, that's cool.
Because you deserve and should demand a higher quality game.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to, I don't want to say call out, but sort of acknowledge the flaws of the game and hope that it can be better next time. It's not saying like, oh, I hate ukulele, I hate Platonic, Dead on Arrival. It's just like, oh, we're going back in the foreground.
Well, and I think even if you do like a game, you can still admit if there's flaws to it.
Yeah. And so I guess he's going to write a very detailed post. We haven't seen the full final version yet.
Well, I'm interested to see what he's got to say.
Yeah, well, so far I'm not really convinced, just because he was talking about the transformations and he said that the bee was the most worthless one. And it just seems like a strange... I guess it's your opinion, but it just seems like a strange opinion to have.
Well, I am so over... And a lot of people these days are like, well, it's my opinion. I'm like, great, but your opinion sucks because it has no evidence to back it up. So I don't care if it's your opinion. If it's a stupid opinion, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
that's one way to do it.
I don't know, it's just like, that's not an argument to me. Like, well, it's my opinion, so I'm right. It's like, no.
I don't think they're saying that they're right. They're just, people just say, well, this is how I see it, and it's different than
how
you see it. Like,
I know, when you hear it, when you like say in a YouTube comment,
yeah,
they say something, and then you're like, no, that's just not true. And then they're like, well, that's my opinion.
Well, I mean, that is an opinion if you don't like the bee. It's just...
No, I'm not talking about him. Like,
yeah,
that's something trivial. But it's like, I don't know. Other people, they're like, well, that's just my opinion on that. Blah, 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 blah.
Like when people are racist?
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just like, as a form of argumentation that's not a reason for somebody for you to have an argument about something. Like, because you have an opinion about something doesn't mean it's a valid opinion about it. That's not a good enough reason for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's very situational. I'm sort of trying to think of, like, an example for either way, and I'm kind of at a loss. Like, what are you trying... Can you give me an example?
What I mean is, like, if you have an opinion, it needs to have... You need to have something to back it up.
Well, I think I understand what you're trying to say,
opinion.
but I would just like, if you could give me an example, I could be like, oh, so that's what you mean, okay.
Well, like, say, for example, and this is a really easy one.
Okay.
Just, like, with the Charlottesville thing, and you're like, well, I think... Or you want... No, here's an even easier one.
Okay, great.
Alright.
Give me an easy one.
So you're like, well, I think that affirmative action shouldn't exist.
Okay.
And then you'll, like, say something to refute that, and they'll be like, well, it's just my opinion. And
well,
and to me, it's like, if you're going to have an opinion about something, at least be educated behind it, have a reason behind it, and be like, there are multiple cases of white people not being able to get into universities for it. And you can say that, but a lot of people will just stop at being like, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to keep in mind that not everyone's going to be as argumentative as you, David.
Well, to me, it's like, if you're going to go out there and say, this is what I believe in, and you don't have anything to back it up, that's...
Well, no, I understand what you're saying, but I just also feel like sometimes I believe in things that I can't always explain.
Ooh, that was close.
You know?
Yeah, I get it.
And I get that, like, I mean, for me, it's not, like, affirmative action, because I can be like, well, you know, affirmative action is an easy one. You should be able to defend or, you know, say why you like it or dislike it. I feel like it's pretty open and shut, and I get that there are people that aren't. But there's some things where you are just like, I feel this way, and I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm trusting my gut on this. And obviously that's not a... You know, you're not gonna get an A in argumentation with that mentality.
No. I guess I just approach it from that like, I just for me, I just value logic and reason over.
That's kind of a pretentious way to put
No.
it. Put it.
No, I'm not. What I mean is like, if somebody constructs a good argument, I'm more likely to listen to them than if they do like an emotional appeal kind of thing.
Oh, obviously.
Other people, it's like they like emotional appeals. They like that kind of rhetoric.
Yeah.
That's just not what I like.
Well, I think there's time and place for both.
Yeah, and that I understand. But like for me, just for me listening to somebody, it's like I need to have that evidence if I'm or like that.
Yeah, I know. I would
thinking
say
skill.
9 times out of 10, I agree with you on that. It makes complete sense. But there are times where I am just like, oh, this is just how I feel about this. I'm not sure. And then it's at that. But see, that's what's important is at that point, that's when you start thinking, okay, why do I feel this way? Let's think about it a little bit more.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people, well, they're like, well, I just feel that way, so that's the way it is. And like, I don't know. To me, that's just very lazy to me.
This is hard. I hate these.
Oh, this one.
Supersonic is not going to do us a whole lot of good. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. I mean, it can help us with this, but... Oh!
This is in the third one, too.
I think it's the second.
Or the second, maybe.
Or it might be CD. I don't know. It's one. You haven't played CD, I think you said, so...
No, it's either in the second or the third.
It's just hard. Because, like, you one small slip up and it all... Like, the rings don't help you out here.
There we go.
Okay, I'm glad they didn't have, like, a... We got another comment from Tom. No, that's an Instagram. Never mind. Oh, shoot. Wait, what the heck? I don't want this. Oh, it's still going. Even though he's got soot on his face, that should be the quintessential symbol
Game
that we're
over.
done. Oh, I'm all nervous because I was checking my phone.
There we go.
I was worried we got.
Oh, I think because in the first one, it was just the first. Like the first time that was a boss, it was just the first 3.
It's also good because we only had 8 rings left, and you just. I think you don't just lose supersonic if you run out of rings. I think you die. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I should know that. This is one of the easiest games to get the Chaos Emeralds in, though. It's
yes, definitely.
Sonic 1 isn't that bad, and Sonic 3 isn't that. Sonic 2 is so hard. But see, do you get what I meant? Like, at this point in the game, you kind of get over-industrialized?
Yeah, and that is one of the complaints I had about the third one as well.
That's kind of sort of a Sonic thing. Because the whole idea of Sonic is sort of like technology versus nature is a big theme in it.
So, like, it makes sense that they would have a lot of technology in it, but I like the idea of spacing it out a little more. So it's not so much like nature in the beginning.
Well, yeah, it's like
and
the
then
first level could be sort of a machine level. Yeah, I mean, and it's the same way with it's not just these. It's the advanced game. I mean, with the 3D games, they do it a little bit differently. At the end of like Adventure 2, what's going on here?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
For some reason, I'm tiny.
Yeah, there's like a tiny thing. I don't know how much of that I did in my first run through, but it's like. There's a tiny ray, is that what it is? Okay, so that guy's in the foreground, that's one of those rings.
Yeah.
This is kind of a bit of a trick of the eyes here, I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. I had to take this a little closer. What were we talking about? Oh, I was going to say, in Sonic Adventure 2, you sort of start out in the city, and then I guess it's not really nature, but the ending levels are in space. Which, I mean, is sort of industrious still, but
that's different.
It's different than this, at least. It's sort of a pretty common thing that the final fights for Sonic games are in space, too. You're supersonic. So I don't know what to expect from this one. I haven't seen the...
Final fight?
Yeah.
Should be interesting. Very interesting. That's something that Velma said on one episode of Scooby-Doo. She did it in, like, that accent, and now I've been seeing it forever.
I'm trying to think of, like, a justifiable example. Like, there's, like... I mean, there's some people where it's, like... You know, abortion is a hot-button issue. And there's people who are like, I am not pro-choice, babies should not be aborted.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? And it's, well, it's against my religion, I just don't feel like it's okay. And it's like, well, I can't really argue with you.
And that's one thing, but that's still a reason. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's still a reason. You're like,
yeah, but
religiously, what I believe in is this. But that's different than saying, like, well, that's my opinion.
But it's not that far removed is the thing. It's just
But it's still more of a reason than just saying, well, that's my opinion.
I just think it's also just it's also sort of somewhat like, sort of convenient where it's like, oh yeah, religion, can't do that. Where it's like, yeah, I get that on one side, but it also goes in the same sense of what you're saying you don't like, where it's...
I'm not saying I agree with it, I'm just saying that makes a little more sense than... I know, because, like, people who say, well, that's just my opinion, it's like, that is a signal of this is the end of the conversation and I feel I am right and you're wrong because that's my opinion.
Or it could be I'm not quite sure how to defend what I'm saying, so I'm gonna go with this.
Exactly.
What am I? Oh, is this like a shrinky? I don't know what that laser is.
Maybe that, like, if you did shrink before, that brings you back.
Well, I've done these last levels less. Like, I think I've only gone through...
Oh, that's a shrinky ray.
Oh, the blue one must make you bigger. Okay. I've done these last levels less, so it's like when I've done them, I've only done a certain path, so I'm sort of seeing things I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes you shrinky, or it kind of looks like it might make you younger, like it looks a little bit cuter,
Like a little
perhaps.
baby.
I don't... Oh!
Ooh, and we can go down that hole, too.
Maybe. I don't know.
Speaking
and I had over 50 rings. I should have just gone super... I would have still got crushed, though, I guess.
Speaking of maybe,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of maybe in Arrested
Talk
Development.
to Katie about that. She thinks she's the funniest part, and I never, ever heard... Now, that's an insane opinion. Because I've just never heard anyone say that, because it's just not true. There's no jokes about... Like, she doesn't have any funny qualities.
That's like being like, Anne's the funniest character.
But it's just like... Anything that happens to her is funny because of what other people are doing. Like, the jokes with her and Michael Cera. Like, it's funny because it's like, but it's not because, like, her actress, I'm sure is a fine actress, but she just doesn't bring a lot. She seems like a normal... She's
got a lot of material.
She's a normal person, which is just kind of boring. And even then, like, we have Michael, and he's a much better straight man. Because he's also funny as well. Jason Bateman is kind of like the perfect straight man.
Yeah, the movies that he's in where he's not the straight man are definitely not as good.
I'm struggling to think of...
Well, like Horrible Bosses.
Well, yeah, he's kind of like the normal guy out of them.
Yeah,
he's the straight man to Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis.
But still, it's just like...
Have you seen Horrible Bosses?
Yeah, I have.
Well, it's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's not good. It's not, like, funny. I think he has not had luck with the movie industry. Like, I don't like Horrible Bosses. I don't like... what's that one with him and Ryan Reynolds where they pee in the fountain?
Oh, the Switcheroo?
Yeah,
and he has another
I don't
one
like that
called...
one.
He has
I don't
another
like the one
one
with
called...
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has two movies that are like The Switch and like The Change or something like that.
And the other day, my parents and I were watching the very, very, very first episode of Friends.
How was it? Was it bad?
It was not good, but it wasn't terrible.
My sister. Oh my god. Okay, my sisters watch Friends all the time. I hate it. It's not funny.
I think it was better because it was not a. I don't want to say more ballsy, but like in the first season, like they were more like. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, what I think about
it was not as like stereotypical like stupid jokes.
What works about Friends that doesn't work in Seinfeld? The Seinfeld characters are bad people, and they react very much in the way it's like slightly exaggerated, but it's in the way that people would act. So you can go, oh, they do that? That's what I might do in that situation. Mm-hmm. And it's funny to see that played out. And like I said, they're bad people. So it's funny. In Friends, they're all just like, oh, we're all good friends. I mean, they're kind of like, I don't even know.
They're kind of bad people.
What are the qualities you would say? I guess I don't watch enough Friends, but it's like, Jennifer Aniston, what's her character?
Her character is like entitled and rich and doesn't understand.
I thought that was Courtney Cox.
No, Monica's like the type A one.
I thought she was the rich one that was entitled.
No, that's Jennifer Aniston's character. Courtney Cox is the type A neat freak one. Phoebe is the best one, but that's just because she's weird.
Oh, that's her thing. She's weird.
And she's like the. She believes in like power crystals and.
But see, that's the thing. They should all be weird. They shouldn't have like the weird.
And then the guys are, the three guys are. The worst.
Oh, it's like a little. I can't think of what they're called. Like a capsule machine.
Not a pachinko.
No. Oh, it's all the old bosses. That's fun. I'm sorry, I kind of forgot some of this.
That is fun.
I don't know if you can kill the Amy one. Oh, I think we just have to keep doing it till he runs out. Is that what we're trying to do?
I think so.
Whoa, okay. The Amy ones like latch onto you and then explode. Is this Act 2 or Act 1?
This is Act 2.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm guessing that's not it.
No.
What the heck? Oh, he's really angry now.
We're
doing this old gag.
Oh no, we have to chase him.
It's the old gag where, for some reason, Eggman can run faster than Sonic.
Well, that was a fun one.
It was a little too short.
It was
a little too
easy.
easy. It was the first bosses from Sonic 1 and 2. I was hoping it was going to be more, but I guess it was the second boss from Sonic 1 as well.
Yeah.
It could have had a little bit more, though. Okay, so I think Titanic Monarch, this should be the last one.
there's no
Although,
transition.
there might be... see, this is industrial, but it's a little different.
This is another new one.
I don't know if there's a level that comes after this. There might, now that we have the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, we'll come back and we'll finish up and we'll find out.
Oh!
I don't like friends.